Fans, welcome to Rivers to Cross. In here it's pretty neat because they just kind of give us blank code and say, all right, go at it. We have 9 gems to collect. They don't randomly place or anything like that. So the first thing I need to do is take a look at my map and see the best way to go about this. All right, we have 3 islands we're working with, and we have locks and platforms. So it looks like starting on this island is going to make the most sense. And I like starting right there, 1-8. So if that's 1-8, that means if I turn it this way, the bottom here is row 0, which means this bottom part facing us is south, which will help when I'm placing my character. Or my expert, I guess, because this is we have locks. All right, so let's go ahead and initialize our expert. So I'm going to and I'm not going to call him expert, I'm going to call him Bob, because we're going to give him a name this time. You can call him whatever you want. I would stay away from Jim, because if you say, okay, I want Jim.collect Jim, that gets weird. So we're here. I'm going to let Bob equal expert. So really, Bob is my expert's name, and he is playing the expert position, kind of like, if Tom was your quarterback, his name is Tom, and he's playing quarterback. His name is Bob, and he's playing expert. And we're going to place our expert, Bob. So I'm going to world. So we come over here, and if you scroll over, we've got east, north, south, west, and world, which are all new. So world dot, and we could need facing direction depending on where you wanted to start. Like if you wanted to start over here at 2-8. But because our default is south, and we want him facing south anyway, I'm going to world dot place Bob at 1-8. All right, now I'll go ahead and run my code to make sure that this works out. And sure enough, Bob is exactly where I want him to be, facing the direction I want him facing. Now, if we notice, we walk in straight lines collecting gems. We have written this code before. So if you come back and look at some of our other things like crank up, crank down, we can take this while loop and use it ourselves. But we're just going to come on back to Rivers to Cross, and I'm going to write this as a function. So this is what I want, function, and my function is going to be called move and collect, capital C-O-L-E-C-T, using camelback notation, meaning the start of every word but the first one gets a capital letter. It makes it easier to read. I should probably call this collect and move, because if you notice, when our character starts, he's on a gem. But there's not gems everywhere. We only want him to collect a gem if Bob is indeed on a gem. So we're going to say, all right, nope, it's an if statement. I'm going to say if Bob is on a gem. So if Bob is on gem, we're going to have Bob collect that gem. All right. And we could augment this depending on how we want to do this. I'm going to do this in terms of a for loop, but with a while loop, you may want to do a gem counter. And I might do a video on that later, but let's just go ahead and get through this one. And then bob.move forward. Move forward. Now, I just realized that I forgot the important part. That will get Bob to collect the gem and move forward once. I want him to collect and move until he gets to the end of that row. So I'm going to place my cursor in front of the if, hit return to get a free line of code, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to edit in my while loop. So I want this to happen while he can move forward. So the opposite of that is while not Bob dot is blocked. So while he's not blocked, meaning while he can move forward, if he's on a gem, we're going to collect the gem and we're going to move forward. Okay, so sorry about that. So my function, move and collect, is going to be this while not is blocked loop. And while he's not, he's going to check every space for a gem. And if there's a gem, we're going to collect it. And then we're going to move forward to the next space. Now, I'm going to go ahead and run this. after my function. Make sure you're out of this function after this last brace. So we're going to go here to move and collect. I'm going to run my code just to make sure that we get to the very end. Let's run it faster. All right, so we don't collect that last one, but when he turns left, he will collect that first. And you notice there's no gem on the last one, so I don't have to mess with anything. So this will work out. Now I see this right now as a for loop. Like I said, with a gem counter and a while loop, you may be able to do it in a little bit less code, but let's go ahead and do this as a for loop just for fun. So for, well, there are, moving forward 1, 2, 3. So it looks like we're going to do this 3 times, and I'm going to capture move and collect. And we're going to move and collect 3 times. Our issue is we have to teach Bob when to turn left and when to turn right. It's a little bit weird that we kind of have similar situations, because right here he's standing in front of the lock, he's blocked, but he needs to turn this lock down and turn left. And where he is in the other one, he'll be blocked in front of the lock, but he'll need to turn right. So if I'm noticing 2 differences, right where Bob is, Bob can go left. So he's not blocked left and is blocked right. And in front of the green one, he will be blocked left and not blocked right. So that's our difference. To make this run a little bit better, I'm going to use is blocked because I want him to stop at the very end. If we used is not blocked right, which is he's not blocked right at the very end, he'll go through 2 unnecessary steps of turning a lock up and turning. So let's not do that. Let's go, so move and collect, and right here we're going to have our if statement. And right here Bob is blocked right. So I want my if statement to say if Bob dot is blocked right. So he's blocked on the right, which means Bob is going to turn left, but we need to crank this one down. So we're going to say Bob dot turn lock down. And then, I think it only needs to come down once, Bob dot turn left. And I don't necessarily like having a blocked right making them turn left. I normally like to go, if it's not blocked left, turn left. But like I said, at the very end, it will make life a little bit easier for us. So we've got that. We could add an else statement, but once again, just the else statement will mean we'll do something else at the end. So I'm going to use an else if statement. So we're going to do the opposite here, because over here we're blocked left. So else if Bob dot is blocked left, Bob's going to turn the lock up because this one is too low. Bob dot turn lock up. And then Bob is going to dot turn right. All right. And if I haven't made too many assumptions, I'm just cleaning up my code right now. That should be all we have to do is our function and our code. So let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. All right, great. So we've got this done. Like I said, for loop's not bad. It's really not that much code. We wrote a really good function with a while loop in it using our conditional code, and there's no extra steps of code in here. Like I said, we could run a while loop with a gem counter to get this done too. And right there, I would just say, okay, if gem counter is less than 5, turn lock down and turn left, else turn lock up and turn right. And that's how I would do that. Anyway, see you on the next one. Love you. Bye.